Hello, and welcome to another episode of Rating and or Roasting My Rig. I am your host, Fluff. We're not going to roast my rigs, although we could do that. I should roast my own rigs, eventually. But right now, we're going to roast your rigs and rate them. Not necessarily in that order, but we're going to get both of those things done today in this episode right now. Let's get to some rating or roasting, shall we? So this looks like if guitars were people and there was like a tornado or like some kind of a storm warning and they were all huddled, like, oh, let's go into the safe room or something like that. This is what it would look like if guitars were huddled together and fearing for their safety. I'm fearing for their safety. I believe the email title said like a studio was moving or something. I'm not really sure. But oh my God, I just noticed the dog. I just noticed the dog. Oh, I literally did not see the dog until right now. My eye did not even go there. I just thought, I don't know what I thought it was. So you have a poor dog in the middle of all of this gear. This poor gear is in this small little room. I don't know what the story is. I believe, like I said, I think the studio is getting moved. You got a couple of Paul Reed Smith amps. You got a couple of oranges, couple of Marshalls. You basically have two of everything. These combos up at the top on the right-hand side. Boy, it seems like this rig would be pretty cool. I love the SG. I love those SGs, the SG Special or whatever it is. Love the Gibsons. Love that Tremonti. Believe that's a Tremonti. Might be a 594. It's a 594. But still, pretty cool. Messy as hell. But rules is rules. There is a dog in this photo. I know you guys hate it when I do this. I'm sorry, rules is rules. I have to give this 5 out of 5 beards. All right, what do we, so we have a Kemper, we have, oh, it's a Music Man Cutlass. What's up? We have another, what is that, a Luke, or a John Petrucci in the rack. We have a Paul Reed Smith, and we have a Gibson ES335. Okay. And clearly you're into education or teaching lessons of some sort, judging by, or maybe you're learning a set or something, judging by your little stand there. Your pedal board has its own case. Love that. Very tidy rig. It looks like you're probably a hippie though. We don't take too kindly around these parts for hippies. I'm just kidding. Everyone deserves love and respect. Except for left-handed people. You guys don't, again, just kidding. That was just a joke, guys. Overall, this rig is pretty good, though. There's not too much to hate about it. I mean, it looks like you're backstage at a Grateful Dead concert, or a Fish concert, or, I don't know, maybe John Mayer's visiting his buddy and you're his buddy, in which case, you know, you're probably pretty cool if you're John Mayer's buddy. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and give this rig 4 to 5 beards. See, this is the kind of rig I really dig because it's using, I don't know, non-common components. When do you ever see a Univox Les Paul from the 70s? You don't, ever. A PV Classic combo, again from the 70s. A Fender Mustang, super cool, super vibey. You have some Electro Harmonix pedals, super cool. And you even have the Doc Martens on the far left. This is a grunge rig. This is like a vintage 90s grunge rig. And I love it. I think this is a great rig. It's creative in the right ways. It's not overkill. It's tidy, simple yet effective. I love simple yet effective. There's not much to roast about this rig, man. Honestly, you even have the DOD envelope follower. Super cool. I love that Univox Les Paul though. Love it. I'm gonna go ahead and give this rig 4 to 5 beards as well. Wow. So clearly, so I wonder if you like orange amps. You You like orange amps like I don't like Black Star amps. You really like orange amps. 8030, great choice. Rocker 30, great choice. I love that you have a ZZ Top record in a frame, which is so cool. Couple of Gibsons. I actually like the Flying V. Not really a Flying V guy, but I like the Flying V. Les Paul, PRS, S2. You have some weird painting, drawing things. I like the octopus thing. You know, the aesthetic of this little corner, it's pretty good. Your pedal board is tidy as hell. There's not much to roast about this rig. What is this with your guys' rigs? And just super cool. Love the vibe. I'm gonna give this 4 out of 5 beards as well. This is gonna go down as the highest rated RateOrRoast ever. We'll get to the dog in a second. However, your amp, so you have a Bugera, you have a Line 6 Spider with a Primus sticker over the logo, good choice. You have some Epiphone Valve Juniors. You have a Crate Blue Voodoo, small Peavey. You just have a mess of guitars, which I can't even tell what any of them are. This is your apartment, if I remember your email correctly. You have a stage within your apartment. Cinder blocks. So I can deduct a couple of things. You're very single, like very single. But when you do have dates over, you're like, do you want to jam? Like you hand them a pair of the sticks and they're like, well, where is the drum set? And you're like, well, it's those things in the corner. Get in the corner. And then your date's like, I'm out of here. That's probably what happens. You lure her in with the dog. Smart move. And then you hand her some drumsticks and she leaves and she, you know, never comes back. But alas, rules is rules. You have a dog in this photo. Aww. Looks like a good dog. 5 out of 5 beards. I remember this email. This is, I believe the subject of this email was coolest front room ever. This is this dude's front room. When you walk in, here let me paint you a picture. Call me Bob Ross. I have a big afro. I'm gonna paint you a pretty little picture. You were married for a few years, probably a lot of years. You did okay for yourself. Got divorced. And you're like, I'm gonna buy me some Marshalls, bro. I'm gonna put them in my firm because I can do that. You know why I say that? Because that's what I did. When I got divorced and I had an empty front room to myself, I put a couple of Maze Boogie half stacks in that thing. Because I could. No one's gonna tell me no. It's my house. You got the couch over there for lounging, drinking some Budweisers. You're gonna crank up your Marshalls. And you're gonna crank up some Squire Fender. Oh no, those are real Fenders. Okay. I see you. Gibson Les Paul. You got your you got an actual Gibson Flying V. Wow. All right, pal. I know what time it is. Don't worry. I'm always looking at the clock. Nevertheless, it might be it's a very cool front room. I'm gonna go ahead and give your rig 4 to 5 beards. And last but not least, again, what is it with like the great rigs? And boy, I really messed up with this episode, apparently. This looks to be like a backyard window kind of a setting. You have a 90s Marshall reissue Plexi that's mic'd up. I mean, that's pretty poor mic placement, but obviously it's just for the photo. I get it. It's not even plugged in. You have a Rivera Rock Crusher. You have one of those really bad audio interfaces that looked cool, but were actually really bad. And you have a really cool looking Explorer, which I love. Tube Screamer and a tuner. What more do you need on the couch? You know what this reminds me of? you're probably the coolest therapist ever. People come over and they're just like, I'm so stressed out, doc. And you're like, here. You hand them the Explorer, and then they lay down on that couch, and they plug in, and they can, and the amp is there, so you can lay down and then twist the knobs behind you. Rock and roll therapist. Love it. I'm gonna go ahead and give this rig 4 out of 5 beards. And that does it for this episode of Rate or Roast My Rig. If you have a rig you would like rated and or roasted, feel free to send me an email down below in the description. And with that, fluff out. If you liked the video you just watched, please consider subscribing. And if you want to further support me and what I do, consider using some of the affiliate links down below in the description of this video. Go on over to Sweetwater, buy yourself something, and help me out at the same time. It's a win-win for both of us.